Hey everyone, Father Mark here. Just thought I'd pop in for a few moments to talk with you about what we discussed on Sunday, and that is that on Monday, May 8th, the Diocese of Oakland, the Roman Catholic Bishop of Oakland, filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. In case you weren't at Mass, I just thought I'd share with you some of the information that I shared on Sunday, because I know there's a lot of questions, there's a lot of concerns, there's some worry about it. Overall, I'll simply say this. On the day after filing for bankruptcy, the bishop met with most of the pastors of the diocese, as well as many other priests, and of course the attorneys and lawyers were there too. And when it comes to the effect of the bankruptcy on the parish, the line was business as usual. That despite the fact the diocese has filed for bankruptcy, it's not going to interfere with the parish at all. I expect all the ministries that we have will continue, the masses we have will continue, our staff will be paid, medical will be paid. There really will be no impact as far as our life as a parish, as a community, and the work that we do and the ministries we offer. So please don't worry about that. Matter of fact, they were very clear that the offertory that you give generously every Sunday, that continues to remain in the parish for the operation of the parish. And then there are those other funds that are considered restricted funds, things like our Rise and Build capital campaign or the Bishop's Ministries appeal. Those sorts of items you can continue to give to, being confident that that money will also not go to settle any legal claims against the diocese. That money is restricted to its specific purpose and it will remain there. So in terms of our functioning as a parish, not a whole lot to worry about. Some people have asked, how did we end up in this situation? Well, many years ago, the state legislature passed a bill, Assembly Bill 218, that lifted the statute of limitations for 3 years, allowing people who had been abused in private institutions to file claims. That window closed on December 31 of 2022, and it looks roughly like our diocese faces 330 claims of clergy sexual abuse. The bishop looked at that. Lots of prayer involved, a discussion with financial counsel of the diocese. Consultors were called in and talked with about it as well, obviously lawyers and attorneys. And the bishop decided that the best way to sort of offer a compassionate and equitable solution for all those who had claims, as well as enable the diocese to continue the ministry that we do to those people who are in need and providing sacraments and things, that this was the path to take. Let's be honest, let's face it, no amount of money will ever make up for what those who have survived clergy abuse have endured. The faith that's been broken with them, the harm that's been done, the damage, there's no amount of money that will make up for that. What we can do is what we can do, and at least I think the money acknowledges for them that we're where it happened, and we are trying to change. The diocese and the church in the nation has put together some pretty robust things that are addressing that very issue in the Dallas Chart of 2002. Eventually, the bankruptcy court will determine that the Diocese of Oakland needs X amount of money, this pot of money, to settle all of these claims. We have no idea when the bankruptcy court will say that or what that amount of money may be. So there's the question about, well, when that's needed, where does that money come from? What I can tell you is that back in 2003, that statute of limitations window had been opened for a first time, and the diocese at that point had 52, I think it was 52 lawsuits. So the diocese was able to handle that without going into bankruptcy, and they settled those. They found the money for that through insurance, through selling some property, and through securing loans. So that's what happened in the past. I would think we'll see something of the same as we look toward the future. The whole bankruptcy process should take 24 to 36 months before we'll emerge from that. And I think we'll probably be a leaner, meaner diocese at that point. The bishop has written a letter to all parishioners. You can find it on the diocesan website, oakdiocese.org, or just search for Roman Catholic Diocese of Oakland. There's actually all kinds of information there for you, frequently asked questions. There's even a toll-free number that you can call if you want to talk to someone who has much more knowledge about bankruptcy and about the process than I do. I'm not a bankruptcy lawyer. This is just what I understand about what's happening. So again, as far as the parish goes, it's going to be business as usual. I anticipate no changes in anything we're doing whatsoever at this point because of the bankruptcy. Now, there is also the added element of the fact that in the fall of 2020, our diocese began the mission alignment or MAP process. You may remember there was a very large survey that we invited everyone to participate in, and so many of you did. Thank you so much for that. But the mission alignment process or MAP process was intended for the diocese to look at all of its facilities, all of its resources, all of its priests, everything, and figure out how do we better align those for the mission Christ has left us, right? So the bankruptcy has sort of, I think, expedited some of what's happening, and the bishop has released the first phase of implementation for the MAP process. Parishes that will be clustered, parishes that will be combined. I'm not going to go through the list of those parishes for you. You can find that on the diocesan website as well, oakdiocese.org. But at this point, I can tell you that for our parish and for our deanery and for the Tri-Valley, there's nothing happening in terms of the MAP process at this point in that first implementation, nothing that will affect us at all, so we're clear of that as well. So that all is going on, of course. And then in other news, this is also the time of year when the parishes have priests being transferred. The diocese moves priests around. And the standard in the diocese is that associate priests are moved every 3 years. And as you may be aware, Father Filiberto has been with us for 6 years, and Father Luke's been with us for 4 years. And so both Father Filiberto and Father Luke will be transferred to new assignments this summer. Father Filiberto will be going to Queen of All Saints Parish in Concord as an associate priest, and his date there will be in early July, so he'll be leaving us at the end of June. And Father Luke will actually be going to become pastor at St. Agnes Church in Concord. He'll do that September 1, so he's here all the way to the end of August with us. With Father Filiberto and Father Luke going on their way, we will welcome 2 priests to our parish. Father Peter will be coming from Holy Spirit in Fremont. It's his second assignment as a priest, and he's very excited to be here. Matter of fact, he was wandering around today, getting the feel for things, so we're very excited to have him here. And Father Gerald will be coming from St. Anne in Union City. You may know him. He sometimes goes by Father G. He was at St. Isidore's in Danville a while back, so he'll be joining us too. So we'll be welcoming Father Peter, Father Gerald, even while Father Luke and Father Philly go to new assignments. So that all sort of happening. And while I'm thinking about it too, the wonderful Kathy Works, who's been our elementary school faith formation coordinator for years, she'll be retiring after Vacation Bible School next month. And Daniel Goodman, who has been our sacraments coordinator this year, he's leaving that position as well. So lots of change going on here, lots of things happening. Nothing I'm overly concerned about at all part of normal parish life, and I'm sure we'll do quite fine with it all. I know God's at work. I know things are happening. There are gifts coming, gifts going. It's going to be fine. It will all be very, very fine. However, I would ask your prayers for everybody involved, for the bishop, for his team, for our attorneys, for Father Filiberto, Father Luke, Father Peter, Father Gerald, for Kathy, for Daniel, and yeah, even for me in these days. So we appreciate that very much. As always, let's keep each other in prayer, and we'll see you very soon. God bless. Have a wonderful day.